Hey my friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Priya and I'm working as a Foundation Year 1 lift doctor in the UK, specifically in the Northwest region. Today I'm going to be entertaining and guiding you guys about being a lift F1 doctor in the UK. And everything that I've mentioned in this video is based on my experience. And if you are a fellow lift trainee, comment down below about your experience too. I would love to get to know all of you. First of all, what is lift? So it's a program called Longitudinal Integrated Foundation Training in short, which was piloted in Northwest in August 2016. Lift trainees are no different to Foundation Year 1 or Foundation Year 2 trainees. We are just kind of following a slightly different pathway. So instead of having a 6 4-month training placements, one of which would have been GP placement in Foundation Year 2, we have 6 4-month clinical training placements, but spending 2 or 1.5 days per week at the designated GP practice throughout the 2-year training. The GP supervising the trainee will be the educational supervisor for the whole 2 years of the training. And the basic aim of this LIFT program is to produce foundation school graduates who are more rounded and patient-centered, and also who will have more practical knowledge about the care pathways to support the future NHS. After working as a lift trainee for a couple of months, I have experienced quite a number of advantages being in this program. For example, I have better understanding of the relationship between the primary care and secondary care in the UK. Particularly when your GP is in the same region as your local hospital, you will find that you can make referrals to your secondary care colleagues or treating patients from your GP in secondary care. It's actually very satisfying to see this link between the services. Plus, by going to the GP twice in a week for the whole 2 years, I get to experience an extra number of specialty rotation. It's more like a bonus rotation for me, giving greater exposure to the healthcare system. And I also realized that LIFT has contributed to a good work-life balance for doctors, since in my hospital I don't have on-calls, long days or twilights. But LIFT programs, they differs from hospital to hospital, when in some places the trainees are still expected to do on-calls, night shifts and others. And LIFT trainees get to also work support shift or locums in their hospital when they have days off. So it's still great in terms of getting more working experience and, earning extra money as well. But there are certain setbacks to take note being a lift trainee. First, the rota coordination can be difficult to organize, especially in the early days. So, better communication between the trust and practice will be very helpful to solve this issue. And sometimes lack of on-calls, night shifts and twilights can be discouraging, but taking up extra shifts and locum jobs can definitely fill the void in. Moreover, when you are 2 days away from the hospital, it's very hard to keep up with the continuity of care of patients, especially in the ward rounds. I'm currently working in the A&E department, so there's not much of a continuity of care, but ward-based jobs can be really a struggle. Therefore, having a good communication and understanding between your colleagues will really help in that matter. So currently I work 8 to 4 in the A&E department from Monday till Friday, except on Tuesdays and Fridays. On Tuesdays and Fridays, I work 9 to 5 in the GP practice. Saturday, Sundays, I'm off except on days when I do extra F1 support shifts. I really like how the primary care works in the UK, and especially coming from Malaysia, I had a great support from my Educational Supervisor and other staff as well in terms of learning the system itself, such as assessing the system using smart cards, booking appointment for patients, assessing patient records, requesting bloods and other investigation, sending screen messages and referrals. But one of the trickiest tasks of starting in GP practice is getting the grip with all the services available for patients and how to refer to them. Each practice will have a slightly different procedure for referring patients, but I can always ask for help from my colleague or the GP trainees who have more experience in this. Also, through having GP experience in Foundation Year 1 itself, I have the opportunity to learn consultation and communication skills that will improve my work in secondary care. It's quite interesting to actually learn and apply different management for acute conditions. Take note, how you would treat something in secondary care is actually different to primary care. Alright, here are some of my advice for future LIFT trainees. Number 1, LIFT is a new scheme and many rota coordinators are not aware of it. They may not have been told that you are a LIFT trainee, so make sure get their contact information well in advance of starting a rotation and email them early. Good communication is essential to make a LIFT rota work. Number 2, being in GP 1 or 2 days a week makes chasing urgent bloods and referrals virtually impossible. So, ensure a plan is in place at your practice to provide a safety net for your results and tasks. For example, handing over result or referral or task to your supervisor and record a clear plan for this in the patient's notes for them to refer to. The same applies for missing a day on your base ward. Hand over the task to your team and make sure your documentation is clear, because safe and effective handover is a vital task in medicine and will stand you in a good stead for any job. Number 3, it can be difficult to feel you are leaving your team, especially when your department is facing particular pressures such as high workload and staffing issues. But try not to take this on a personal burden, because you are contributing to your practice and making a difference to patients there, as well as developing yourself as a doctor. Other trainees such as GP trainees will have protected training time, and all juniors will have time on different wards or departments performing varying duties. Your LIFT days are protected time. Number 4, educational supervisors become a source of pastoral support. They know you as a person and are good at problem solving, from hospital issues to just needing someone to vent to about a difficult case. Initially, it may feel more difficult to develop that relationship over 1 day a week. However, the length of the program facilitates this. Over time, you may find that you get to do procedures that other trainees don't get the opportunity to do. No matter what program or training you are in, keep learning every day, be confident and learn from your mistakes. I have been enjoying my training so far and also the hospital. And if you guys have any questions or queries regarding LIFT program, feel free to check out more details in the description below, or you can email your questions to me. Thank you so much for the support, everyone. See you in the next video soon. Bye bye.